Girl in the sky. I surprised y'all, didn't I? I know I did. So listen, this is Dialogue with Dozell. And he's doing some things and, trying to make sure all of y'all are on. But until he comes back, y'all got me. Now, tonight is a very, very special night. And our guest is Mr. Leo Carmichael himself. You talking about some grooming and singing, and look, they performing. They ain't gonna perform tonight though, but we ready. So prepare yourself. Get your questions and your answers and your comments. Look, get everything tonight while we sit here waiting on Dozell. Now, what y'all want to talk about with your girl, Linda Scott? I know you got something because y'all surprised that it's me. All right, so let me just say, while I'm waiting on my brother from another mother, how honored I am that he trusts me to be waiting on him while he do some very important things preparing for you. So what you want to know? How you want to know it? Let's talk about the tea party that I had on yesterday. Yes. When I tell you it was excellent. And I'm coming to South Florida. I can't give you an exact date at the moment, but when I get there, you're going to know about it. And the tea party, while we're waiting on Dozell, the tea party was about my jewelry collection, how I got started, what funds are going where, and it's about my charity work that I am preparing to start all over again in Houston. That charity is called Continuous Love. And what does that mean? That is for kids who have lost a parent prior to graduating high school. And for those of them who wants to continue their higher learning, we're assisting them. Basically, we're giving them all the tools that they would need. And if you have your parents still living and able to assist you, you know how hard it is with parents. Just think about how hard it is without parents. And that's what Continuing Love is all about. So we'll go in it a little further and show you how you can help prepare our kids in that situation. So I did it because, or shall I say, I created that because I lost a daughter and I had her son to raise him. And not only did I have her son, my son lost his father prior to graduating high school. And I know how hard it was. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be talking to Mr. Leo Carmichael, and he's going to tell us when he's going to be available on the next cruise, what cruise he's going to be on, and how he met Dozell, and what a phenomenal time that they had, and the gift that he gave them. Hey, welcome, my brother.
Hey, sis. Well, listen out there in Dozell land. I'm so glad to have this celebrity back with me because she's gone out with Sherilyn, and they have gone out and created a fabulous podcast on Thursday nights, 7 o'clock Central Time. What's the name of it again, sis?
It's the Golden Square Podcast.
That's what it is.
The
and
Golden
it's
Square.
Awesome. Now she goes for the heavy hitter guests. And when as you can see when she and Sherilyn the dialogue, and that's a quality show in its own. That smile, bless you, sis. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's my honor, and thank you for allowing me and trusting me to open up for you. I know how it is, and wait, y'all. Let me thank this man for putting me in the position that I am. Let me say that. I didn't want to say it while you wasn't present. I wanted you to know just how grateful I am, and I want them to know it's just not about the podcast. It's a brotherhood and the fellowship that you give and the experience. And I love you for it. Thank you.
Bless you, sis. Bless you. You got the natural talent, the natural, giftedness, and that beautiful face and beautiful smile. So it makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to have a great array of guests. Listen, forgive me if I'm bubbling over tonight. I am just doubly excited to have our guest on, Brother Leo Carmichael. I'm just going to bring him right up, introduce you all, and let him tell us. And we're going to recant a great anniversary cruise that he and his band Temperature helped my dear wife and I to have on last year. Leo, what's up, man?
Hey, Miss
Hey
Leo, how
everyone.
are you?
Hey Linda. Hey Dozell. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, bless you,
So, how
brother.
was your day, sir?
Awesome, awesome. I did a lot of production today. I've been
Okay.
going for a while. Yes.
Okay. Great,
Yes.
great.
And
So,
how
Well,
are you
let me
doing?
just, I just wanted to say it's an honor to meet you. We've heard great things
Mhm.
about you. So, you got to share all this information with the viewers. That and I'm excited to continue to roll. I'm excited because that's why I'm talking so right. But I'm a hush now. Go ahead, Dozell.
so I got to tell you two introductions, and I'm gonna let Leo introduce himself. The first introduction was on the ship, the Harmony of the Sea. My wife and I usually do this anniversary cruise, and we did it last year. We had done this cruise back in November when the boat started floating again, and the boat was 30% full. It was one of Royal Caribbean sister company, Celebrity. It was a great cruise. And it was just a great reintroduction back to the show. So last summer, we jumped on the Harmony. We got a great deal on this. We hopped on the Harmony. And the first thing we remember when we got there is, man, listen, this is the last week before these kids go back to school. Lo and behold, we saw a slew of kids. Now we got 12 grandchildren, so I can't hit on kids. But it was, and by the way, Madam Producer, you're going to be chiming in tonight. So we were just, oh my gosh, we were almost devastated after the bliss we had experienced just a few months earlier, about 6 months earlier on the Celebrity, and so on the Equinox. So we went to dinner, thought we could kind of eat our way through the blues that we had. 7 days, jam-packed cruise, a lot of kids. For the man that don't hate kids, okay. And we were walking back across. We're walking back across the ship, heading to the elevator in our stateroom. And if you know anything about those three big, the Allure, the Harmony, and the Symphony of the Sea, the sister ships. They got the floor. It's like a mall, and then they have this upstairs second level, look like a replica of the Mall of America, and bands perform up there. We were walking back across. We heard this band, Temperature, was playing. We heard them singing. We'd eat, and we were going to go sleep our blues away or whatever it was. And your guitarist, what's his name, Leo?
Colgate.
Colgate. I know it's a toothpaste name. I don't want to give another company free publicity on the dialogue. He
Mhm.
started playing Purple Rain. And
Yes,
you
sir.
know how you kind of do this and people just kind of fade back? Well, that's what we did. That music just brought us back, and we were
Yes,
just
sir.
stuck there. I say, OMG, unbelievable.
Wow.
And so from there
Absolutely.
started us going to hear you guys perform every night. We're gonna talk about what you did and how great you were, and you were every bit of that. But then yesterday, the wife and I were driving down by the docks, and we got a cruise come up in a few weeks. We're so excited, and we were just
Okay.
kind of projecting into them. I said, let me check on my brother. I hadn't spoken to him in a few weeks, a month or so. I picked up the app, called you. You were right there. You say, I'm taking a break. I said, oh man, we've been trying to make this happen for several months. This was last August. So Linda, you see how excited I am. And once you
Yeah.
hear
Excellent.
brother talk and whatever else he'll do for us, you're gonna see. Leo, introduce yourself to us, man.
Wow. 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 Before I even begin to talk about myself, man, wow, you're such great people. You and your wife, I really appreciate you. It's a pleasure meeting you. From the moment I met you, I loved your energy, you know? Yeah, my name is Leo Carmichael. I'm one of the lead singers of a 6-member band called Temperature Band. The band leader is Mr. Conroy Gordon. He's the drummer. And the other lead singer is Kalisha McDowell. She does the Whitney Houston tribute and as well as other tributes with myself. Um, we have a Michael Jackson tribute, a Motown tribute, an Earth, Wind and Fire tribute, Stevie Wonder, Mike. I didn't say Michael Jackson, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I did say Whitney Houston. We have a 70s party, 80s party. As a matter of fact, back in the day when we were with Norwegian, we had a Journey tribute. We had a
Okay.
we had a country and western hoedown. Yes, I do sing
Okay.
country.
Woo, woo.
We have a 60s party, we have a 70s party, we have an 80s party, and we have tons of hit music. Tons of hit music. And so we're just a group of folks. We met along the north coast of Jamaica. I became a part of the band. The band has been with Royal Caribbean and several other cruise lines since way before I came on cruise ships. The band leader, Mr. Conroy Gordon, he has been on cruise ships, I believe, since 2009. But one day I know that you'll invite him on and he can talk and what have you, and that he has been persistent. And I finally, over the years, and I finally took up his offer in 2016 and joined the band. And here we are. I've been with the band ever since. Yeah, and it's been a wonderful experience. It's been quite a dynamic experience, meeting so many different kinds of clientele. And of course, you know that the Oasis class is the largest in the world. So we were normally on Dazzle's Lounge as a Billboard Top 40 band. I sing Billboard Top 40 hits and whatever you love, we just are here to serve you with music, with a soundtrack to people's lives and to people's love affairs. Of course, we sang for your ladies, for your
Anniversary.
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 Yes, so that was so beautiful, and touching. Yeah.
So let me just ask you this. And I was picking up the accent. I was like, is he from Jamaica or where he was from? But the
Yes,
accent
I'm
is
from Jamaica.
beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So you were saying that your lead singer or one of the lead singer is the drummer?
No, I'm one of the lead singers.
Right.
Kelisha McDowell is one of the lead singers. There's a male and a female lead singer.
Right.
And but the drummer is the band leader,
Oh, he's the
Conroy
band
Gordon.
leader. Okay,
Yes.
I'm like, now that's kind of odd and different that the drummer is the lead singer. So okay, well now,
No, I,
Leo.
do- I the funny thing is I'm also a drummer. I actually went to college, music college for drums. Voice was my second instrument. So I know what
Wow.
it is to be at the front and I know what it is
Is
to
to be,
be in the
yeah,
background, doing it.
yeah.
And it's wonderful.
I was
It's a
gonna ask you
wonderful
which
thing.
one did you prefer? Did you like being in the back or do you like beating the drums? Now I'm gonna get excited either way you tell me. I'm going with
Oh,
you.
that's such a tough question to answer because in truth and in fact, I drummed for church pretty much most of my
Mm.
life. In fact, I went to college on a scholarship from my church. I went to
Oh,
college on two
Wow.
scholarships. One of them was from my church and one of them was from my school because I was a student council president back then. Yeah,
okay.
and yeah, voice was my second instrument.
Okay, well let me ask you this, Leo.
But
So
yeah,
what denomination was your church
it it's
upbringing?
it was basically it was non-denominational. It's more of an evangelical
Okay.
kind of vibe. But I know that my pastor has his roots in the Baptist church. I know,
Okay.
but he started a non-denominational church. And I know that one of our overseers was Dr. Miles Monroe,
Oh wow.
who
Oh,
is
all
yeah,
right.
like
Yeah.
I'll be real with you, man.
So
Dr. Miles
you one
Monroe
of
is
them.
one of my favorite persons in the world.
Absolutely.
Oh
God
man.
rest his
Absolutely.
soul. I
Yeah,
really
what
do.
a
Yes.
beautiful
So
spirit he is.
yeah, as,
Right.
as a matter of fact, I just finished reading one of his books on prayer. Yeah,
Ah, good
yeah,
for
I
you.
love that guy. I
Good.
love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, then I could give you my heart because anybody that's under him
yeah.
is real. It's
Yeah.
Oh
real.
my gosh, man.
Yeah, it's
Solid guy.
real.
Solid guy.
So
I am
Linda,
for
you
good.
see his spirituality poured out through his every existence.
Yes.
I'm learning
Yes.
some facts. we always express our love for the good Lord when we're
Right.
discussing and talking to each
Oh,
other.
most
I'm
definitely.
learning a lot more here, and I
Yes,
like for
sir.
you to know that my roots to the Baptist church, and about almost 20 years ago, after all
Ooh.
these years, I waited to be an old man, and the Lord had me step out and start a non-denominational church. So
Oh,
that's
you
what we
told me
got
about
trying to
that. I
wind
can't
down
forget
and
that.
prepare to hand that off to somebody. But I'm working it as long as the good Lord has me there.
Right.
Lily, you can see how, and like I said, we hadn't discussed a whole lot of spirituality. It was just evident in everything he says or does. Can you see how you ask him about the band members? Can you see how humble he is? I
Oh,
mean,
for
he's
sure.
multi-talented, but
For
he's
sure.
so humble. He
For
talked
sure.
about he has the sister's a lead singer. The last night of the cruise, she did a Whitney Houston tribute.
Ooh.
He took a background, stepped up as a background vocalist.
Wow.
I was observing all of that, and it just
Wow.
enhanced. I'm telling you, they made our 7-night cruise. They really
Ooh.
did.
Wow. When are you coming to the States, or do you know that, Leo?
Well, actually, I'm waiting. We are waiting on Royal Caribbean because we are now in a guest entertainer's position where we go from ship to ship more as a headline
Okay.
act. Yeah. So we do the tributes as headlines. We just did a tribute set on the Anthem of the Seas for 2 weeks, and that was exciting because that's a dream of mine fulfilled. Thanks be to God. I've always wanted to do something like that because when I started cruise ships in 2016, I went to a lot of headline acts. In fact, what I found interesting about my first cruising gig, musician cruising gig, which was on Norwegian cruise line, Norwegian Jade.
Uh-huh.
It was on Norwegian Jade from out of Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
and for about a month and 10 days, I I was basically an usher because they took out they took over the ship. A charter cruise group took over the
Mm-hmm.
ship, and they had tons of festivals for like a month and a half, and I saw a lot of headline acts. So I've always wanted to be like that, and I've learned a lot from watching headline acts over the years on cruise ships. Of course,
Uh-huh.
on land, yes, but on cruise ship, I've toured as a drummer and as a singer. But this new thing, this new phenomenon of performing on cruises and meeting persons on cruises, so many different personalities, and they grow on you, and I've never ever gotten over people just growing on you, and then they have to leave after 7 days or 2 weeks.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that can never ever be played out because you'll never meet the same person, and there's
Right.
always something special and individual, unique, I should say, about
Right.
every person that you meet. Somebody's energy, somebody's spirit, and there's always a lesson learned. Some of my biggest lessons have been learned in Dazzles, on Harmony, on Oasis of the Seas, on
Right.
Symphony, on Allure of the Seas.
But you know what?
So,
You have to be a unique person in order to meet unique people. So
ooh,
you're drawing, it's that energy that you have that you're drawing those people to you. So if
man,
we are not unique in ourselves, we won't recognize uniqueness in anyone else. And I see that with you. And that's why I asked the question, when would you be coming to the States, man?
oh,
I
most
think we
definitely.
should just I think we should get a concert going, because just
Oh, I'm
talking with
ready.
you and just feeling you, I think hey, we need to hear you. I know it's for the cruise, but come on, come on, come on.
No,
Come on
no, you
Oh,
through,
know what's
Leo.
best? When they get their schedule, when the temperature band gets their schedule, what
Uh-huh.
we need to do is find a group and so we can enjoy them at least 7 nights. That's what we need to do.
Wow.
I guarantee they
Wow.
were the highlight of the cruise. And I mean, we up with a. I'm not going to talk about the number of cruises. It's just my wife's passion. She don't want to drive. She want to cruise now. So we cruise.
Right, right, right.
Um, they were hands down the best entertainment that we ever encountered. We one of our first
Oh,
cruises, Holland America, had a very dynamic illusionist, who was good, and we enjoyed him immensely. But once we hooked up with Temperature Band, Leo Carmichael, every night. I mean, our
Wow.
schedule, our anticipation, our eagerness, our energy was about getting to that club and getting a front seat. And there was a
Wow.
lady, we're going to talk about her a little later, that reserved us a seat right up front. She
Mom.
Mm.
follows them wherever they go. And that's what we did for 7 nights after being
Wow.
drifted in by that playing of Purple Rain and a Jimi Hendrix version of the national anthem.
But
Just
you were I don't know what that little man name with the purple rain, maybe Prince. That's a
Oh,
big fan right there, Prince, so
whew.
you stole him right there. So that was it. You didn't have to play no more. That just you played Purple Rain. He was in. He was in.
Journey,
So
You,
man.
you know,
Journey. I just
interestingly,
wish I've been running so crazy today. I really wanted to download some of the videos that we had. And like he said, he blessed us. And there's gonna be another time we're gonna do that. But Journey, we walked out of this, they were playing faithfully, and we walked right back in and
wow.
enjoyed the end of that. It was just so awesome. Latoya Glenn, weigh in. I know you got a question now. We want to hear from you.
feel free to ask me anything, man. Please.
Go ahead, Toy.
I mean, do you feel like singing something?
Hey girl.
Oh,
Toya,
Just,
I was
just to
I was
know?
with you. I was with you. I was gonna
oh,
get
oh
it,
my
but so
God.
that's it, Leo.
I mean, and,
Right.
Oh my gosh. I'm forever yours, faithfully.
That's a tease.
That's
We'll take
not
that tease.
enough for us. Faithfully. Bring
Get
it
a little
on.
chorus. We'll say that
Toya,
for the
tell me
latter
you
part
want
of the
more,
show.
Toya.
Go
You
ahead,
know,
Toy. Ask him a question. We save you this voice.
there's an artist that I got to know on cruise ships, Frankie Beverly and Maze. That's
Mm.
I'm a huge fan of them as a result of cruise ships. Um, and one of my favorite songs from them, other than Joy and Pain and the regular,
Right.
you know, um, is Happy Feelings in the Air,
Yeah.
hey,
touching
yes.
people everywhere.
All
Do, do,
right.
do, do, do. Woo, I love that song. Love that
See, I
song.
told you,
Oh
big. We
my
need to
God.
have him. We need to have him on
Boy,
line,
Love that
on
song.
land, right, Toya?
beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
the
Yes, yes, yes.
energy, the allure
Oh
is
my
I mean,
God.
it accompanies the voice, the vocals.
Right.
And I can hear he's a little hoarse tonight. That's why I was going to kind of catch him at the end of the show. Toy got right on it. Thanks, Toya. He is. I mean, it's just the energy. It's the entertainment. You know, he's a
Mhm.
gifted dancer and he's a
Yeah.
charmer. He has it all going. So,
I was going to ask him
Talk to me.
because of the title, well, the name of your group, Temperature. How did you come about that? But then when I hear you singing, I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. But how did you become? How did you become the Temperature? Why the Temperature?
Well, the band leader came up with the name, but what we've been known for that is synonymous with the name is that we're not just about a set list. We're about
Mm-hmm.
the person in the room. And even though we see an audience, we perform to each person. We make it
Mm-hmm.
personal. It's about treating every person like $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
Mm-hmm.
treating every person like $1 billion. So, in any way, any song that you can find, anything that you can do in any way to create that memory, because music is a beautiful, beautiful, powerful thing,
Right.
it's good to sing what everybody loves. I know Dozell loves Lionel Richie. He loves the Motown. I remember him enjoying himself to the Motown tribute.
yes.
Wow, and of course, the Four Tops, the Temptations, Marvin Gaye. Man, it's so interesting. One of my favorite memories of Dozell, I can't remember which song it was, but he just took his wife up and he was slow dancing. And I was
Oh.
watching them and I was like, oh my God, Ghost, God, just please, please, please let me have something like that. Please,
Oh.
please let me have, like,
Oh man.
it's such a beautiful thing, to see people come in and you can see, you know, I'm a sucker for couples, to be honest. I had a residency. I've lived more in a couples resort than in my own house.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had a 7 year residency at a couples resort, and I wrote an entire album called
Mm.
Love that I released in 2018 from just watching couples. So
Oh,
yeah, so I know so many couples from all over America, all over the world, to be honest.
right.
But mostly America, and we still keep in touch. One of my best friends, that lives just outside Seattle. He and his wife got married at that resort, Couples Tower Isle Resort, and I met them
Oh,
there while I lived at that resort. you know and so when I saw him out, he reminded me so much of a lot those couples, those seasoned couples that's been doing this thing, that
for a long
that that,
time.
that don't just say I love you, baby. You can see that. Yeah, man, he's putting the work.
Yeah, right,
So,
right, right,
I was
right.
admiring them, and I was like, wow, look at that. Yeah, man, God
Yes.
bless me with some of that. Whatever I need to do to align myself to have some of that beautiful, put have something beautiful like that. So, and because they were one of the first folks to come in the nights, we always try and secretly pick some songs that we know. Dozell normally sits stage left, I'm close to the front. So yeah, man, we wanted to make sure that we do something special for him each night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so sweet.
But
So, Leo, do you have a companion?
Wow, I started dating, and I'm putting in some work, you know. Yeah, yeah. I've also been married before. I
Mhm.
have been married before, and so I started to put in some work, and God willing, it will bear great fruit. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
wow.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if that couple that you were speaking of, is that was the one the night after you blessed us, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Hmm.
Uh, and the guy got down on his knees and proposed. I wonder if that's
Woo.
he actually proposed. I don't know if you could pick up on that vibe. I mean, we were so intimate in
Yeah.
that room, but it was just like he got out there and danced. And of course, people kind of respect just backed off and let him have the floor. And he
Hmm.
danced, and we were all surprised because you would have thought they were married.
Oh,
I wonder if
oh,
that's the one
No,
that.
no, I wasn't talking about them, but
Okay,
um, but what I found out is that they've been together for some time.
okay.
You can see that they've known each other for some time. Yeah. Um, but that was beautiful too. Wow, wow, so much good memories. As a matter of
wow.
fact, that cruise was a standout cruise for me. Big,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
that was a standout cruise for me. It was just, it was just great energy from the first evening, because we performed at about what I believe 4:30 to about 7:30 thereabout, and we did a 7:30 to 4 to 6, or 7 to, so there something thereabout, and then we did a 7 to 8 or something like that, you know. And we did a set later on at Dazzles. It was just great energy. It was just
mm.
oh,
great energy, and we could see that you can almost feel when it's going to be a great cruise, because you can see the people that come there. They're there to have a good time. And I always also find it interesting how at other times how folks would come and they would seem so guarded and so tense, and I don't know if it's if I call it the shy zone. They take a while to break the ice, and that's one of the things we try to do in Dazzles and wherever we perform. To break the ice, and the band leader Conroy, he's great at picking songs, reading the audience, that would just get everybody to just forget about watching each other, have a couple drinks, enjoy your lover, enjoy yourselves. So
Oh, I'm
yeah.
jealous now, man. So I need to. Okay, one day I'm gonna be blessed. All right, I'm gonna be blessed, and one day I'm gonna hit the cruise, and we're gonna have a good time. I look forward to your performance. I'm dying to see that happen. I'm enjoying just your energy alone. So I can imagine. Um, I can imagine
Who's your
exactly.
favorite? Who name your top three favorite artists?
Oh my God, then I'm gonna be saying my cotton picking age. But one of them,
you
one
know
of
you've been
them,
around a minute, sis.
I know I'm gonna go ahead and confess, but my soloist for me is Nina Simone.
Ooh,
Hey,
that's
that's my
like how
go-to.
you how I
Yeah, to keep
feel.
me calm
Ooh,
and yeah, her. I can do Maze. Um, I could do I can do Mr. Charlie Wilson himself. So,
ooh,
because it's a
yes,
message
man.
in all of them that they do. So, but Nina would be my girl that I need to go to.
Mm, wow.
Well, we had a break. We're gonna hit this break, and we're coming right back, and we're continuing YouTube, Facebook Live. We're continuing our exciting conversation tonight on the dialogue. Brother Leo Carmichael, one of the
Yeah.
lead singers with the Temperature Band. I am so elated to have my sister with us tonight, Sister Linda Scott. Just we got more coming. We're gonna hit this break, and we'll be right back. Cheating yourself if you don't capitalize on the services of moregogigacreations.com. You're cheating yourself. All of your virtual needs, gogigacreation.com. They got you covered. They make me look good. Linda don't need it, but I need it. And we just appreciate what they do.
No, Linda need it, and I appreciate them, man. I'm with you. If you don't have them as your producers,
This is the time usually that we do. Are you serious? Or a shout out, or we do a are you serious, or we do a shout out, or we have several other little things that we do. But tonight we're gonna get right back to the dialogue, because we're not gonna have this blessed artist on with us and not share time with him. So, Brother Leo, I want to ask you this. What is it like being at sea for months like that? I predicate the question with this. I remember one time you were leaving Jamaica from a port while you were on cruise, and you said it's never easy. It's never good leaving Jamaica. It's never good sailing from Jamaica. What is it like being at sea for months at a time like that when you're working?
What a question to ask me. Harmony that you met me on. My longest contract ever was done on that ship in 2019. And so, wow, it's not easy. It's tough. I mean, at my age, I'm thinking about family. I'm thinking about starting a family or maintaining a family. Funny thing is, if I should be honest with you and really, really, really undiluted with you, one of the reasons why I turned down cruise ship gigs for about 7 years straight is because by then I had just gotten married and I wanted to make sure that I put all the investment necessary in my relationship, in my marriage. And because I heard so many stories. I'm in the music industry, in the gospel arena, and to be honest, in the secular arena, because I've been a songwriter for a couple artists. I'm a songwriter. I have just a few credits to my name as a songwriter, and I saw what being so dedicated. Music is a very demanding job. It's a very selfish job. If you want to be the best in music, to be real with you, music is like having two marriages.
Right.
That's the best way I can put it.
Absolutely.
When I saw how my then wife was, and I was being honest with myself, I know that we needed that time. And when I decided to take the risk, I asked her permission, and with her blessing, we went counseling together to make sure that we have the necessaries in place. And then I took my first contract, which was 4 months. Now, fast forward to 9 months on a cruise ship. Wow. The great thing is that it feels like I'm constantly on tour. that you constantly meeting people and building something, sometimes to let it go, to start something new again, to let it go. So it feels like I'm a part of a series. I feel like I'm in Netflix. I feel like I'm
Mm,
the person in the television. There are so many great things about cruise life. You know about the guest life, but there's the crew life. We have our lounges, we have our clubs, we have our activities. Even there's even a strong Christian ministry sometimes,
mhm,
depending on who is there. You have some persons that were pastors or in ministry while they were there. You have a multiplicity of people and religions and stuff like that. And you know it it's just a lot of peopleology learning and experiencing, because you have to make sure that you get along and that you position yourself in a way with whatever organization that you are in, to give the best product. and
mhm.
even though and even though I mean, you're not working, you're still representing a brand, because you're living on the ship. So
Right,
it's not like when I'm home and I do a show, or when I go on tour and I jump and I do a show and then I go back to my hotel, or I
right,
go back to my room,
right,
or or in when I'm in Jamaica, I just jump in my
good,
car and go wherever I want to go.
right.
It's like you just feel like you just constantly have to be in your A game, and as a front man, it feels like you constantly have to give a lot of energy,
Right,
and
right.
and so and so in within that context, to begin to ask yourself, how long is this gonna take? Yeah, or how
Mhm,
long is this gonna be? Or how can I best exploit this to to go even to a higher level or in a different direction? It has its great moments. There are also moments where when I really miss my family.
mm,
I'm from a big family. I'm very close to my mom. You know, but most of all my siblings and my most of the persons on my father's side of the family do live in the U.S. But
okay.
I'm much closer to my mother's side of the family. Nevertheless, I love my brother to death. My brother lives in Sarasota. My sister lives
Oh,
just
wow.
outside Sarasota. So a few times I've gotten to be in touch with them, given the ports that I'm in. But overall, I would say, to answer your question simply, ship life is like living in waves. You'll have a great
Ah,
time. You'll have your great times. Most times the tide is right and the waves are cool, and you're riding, and minor challenges, and it's overall great.
mm,
And given that I'm a musician, to be honest, there are a lot of perks to it. But to be also honest, I'm used to perks, so it's not like it feels special. You understand? It,
right.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Gotcha.
I'm used to playing for artists. I'm used to being around wealthy people or stuff like that, or touring or doing fancy stuff or being at fancy places. So it's not like a ship really, really, really stands out. Even though it's one
Mhm,
of the best ships in the world, it doesn't really stand out because I'm used to that. I've been in
right.
music since I was 13, but at the same time too, it's really cool. you know
Mm,
um,
mm,
and you learn so much from watching different cultures, and I learned so much in the school of the hard knocks.
uh-huh,
you know
mhm.
have I
And
answered the
the school
question
of hard,
properly?
yeah, the school of hard knocks is the best school for anybody to
Oh
learn.
yes.
Yeah, that's the education that you want, because um, some errors that we make or some turns that we take, the school of hard knocks would say, okay, you knocked down, but get up and I need you to go back the other direction. So that's the best one that you can possibly to give anybody as an advice, as you
That's
advising
true.
them to get into prepare to enroll in that school.
Hmm, hmm.
What advice would I give?
No, I was saying
Oh.
if you were advising anyone, if we
Hmm.
say and you told them to enroll in Hard Knock University,
Hmm.
that's the best advice that a
Oh yeah.
musician could
So,
give
Oh
to
yeah.
people
so,
coming into the business.
so,
I'm in
so,
the arts, but I'm in the arts with fashion. So the industry
Mm.
is still the same, and the Hard Knock University still the same. So Those are some good words. What you just said, excellent, excellent, excellent.
So Leo,
I appreciate it.
I retired as a school teacher, and even before when I started the ministry, that's how how I stayed functioning. Uh, but before I did that, I was even doing mentoring groups with high schools in the community. I was allowed from the ministry I was working with to do that, and as much as my wife and I enjoyed cruising, I said, "Wow, this would be an interesting experience, particularly for African Americans, where you don't see many. You see a lot of people from other nationalities serving on cruise ships." And
Mm-hmm.
then after I said for my kids that I kind of got in a mode, so everybody's not going to go to college, started heading towards technical schools and recommending those things. But I said, what about the cruise ship? We got kids that live right here in Broward County, Linda. It's never crossing the Palm Beach County. I was up in your neck of the woods yesterday, never go down to Dade County, not to mention get Sarasota or the Tampa Bay area or out of the state of
Right.
Florida. It's just unconscionable for them. And I thought that would be a great opportunity. It wasn't until the last cruise that we did back in uh, this November where we saw a lot of people from Africa that were actually serving.
Mm.
Now, I imagine it's a little easier for you guys as performers. You live a better quality of life on the ship than a person who actually works on the ship as a waiter or waitress or security. Those. Am I wrong or right about that? I don't want to say anything. Put you in a position.
I get what you're saying. The thing that I've loved the most about Royal Caribbean is this. I'm amazed at how great their crew facilities are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the thing with Royal Caribbean is that they try and even the play field in different ways. So you can't feel just because that person, is has a room like that or has this or has that amount of stripes or you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying, yeah, you
Right.
get what I'm saying.
Correct. Correct.
Um, the Royal, first of all, one thing I love with Royal Caribbean, there is somebody employed for crew events and
Mm.
happenings. Right. So on Harmony of the Seas, on Oasis class seas, um, Oasis class ships, I should say. Um, as a standard, there are three lounges. There's crew lounges. I'm not talking about guest lounges.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's the Venetian where most Caribbean parties happen, and it's like a club. It's like a club and a lounge in one. So there's
Mm.
a stage and there are instruments there. What I love is that like the Filipinos or the Africans or the Caribbeans, they can come together and they will have jam sessions after work. You would be surprised how many wonderful singers are from the Philippines and
Wow.
from Indonesia.
Wow. Yeah,
Like let me go on edge and tell you. Let me tell you a little secret. Before I started working on Raw Caribbean, I once had a Filipina girlfriend. Yeah, I once had a Filipina girlfriend, and this is like way back in 2017. And I thought I knew Billboard hits until I met her.
Mm.
wow.
Oh my god! As a matter of fact, I made sure that I copied her set list. Yeah, but yeah, Royal Caribbean would provide a lot of club. You have a lot of lounges. In fact, funny enough, on Harmony, one of the things that I loved on Harmony from when I was there in 2019 to now, they'll buy massage chairs. So let's say someone from the dining area or someone from the galley. You don't see folks from the galley. yeah,
Mm.
yeah, they're there washing plates upon plates. You don't see somebody like that. After they're finished, they can go and get a go do the go to the massage chair. They can watch special movies, some movies that you might pay for, or crew setup gives it to us free, so they watch the latest stuff. They get to have they and also to there is a bit of meritocracy available. So it's not where like I don't want to compare any cruise line. It's not where somebody has to be stuck in a certain position for too long unless they want to. They can matriculate to other areas. They can vie for other posts. You understand what I'm saying? There are so many different ways, so many different things that they do in different ways to appeal and keep everybody feeling involved and keep us feeling as one crew.
One,
Yeah,
yes.
and to be real
And
with
then
you,
nobody
and to be real,
is
yeah,
better than the next. So
yeah,
yeah.
and to be real
But
with you, we don't really have our culture. We don't really have time for stuff like that in our culture.
Mhm.
The crew culture, we don't really have time. If I'm having a good time, let's say I step into the club or I step into a lounge. To be real with you, and I'm having a good time, and some of my homies, I don't even have to know them, are there, and they have beers. I can go and take one of their beers. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the crew bar, and I'm gonna buy. Let's say I buy 4 beers, or I buy a couple shots, and I'll bring it to them. That's how we live. That's our culture.
okay,
That's crew culture. And to be real with you, that's cool crew culture in general. We don't make any. We don't have any. We look out because we know what it is to be away from family. To be
And that's your family.
yeah.
That's your family.
Thank you.
That's your
Wow.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we even the play field, and we don't even wait, even though there is a setup there in every cruise line to make everybody feel involved. We don't wait for that. We live as such.
Mm,
I'm
mm.
so glad to hear that because it cleared up a notion that
Mhm.
that some cruise employees are almost like I hate to use the term, but almost like indentured servants because of you hear the hours, the hard work. You this is what you see and hear, but to hear this side, that's what I'm so glad you're here to show this. We want to go to some of Leo's. We want to promote his brand as much as we can because I'm like Linda, I would love to. I know you want to see him out in H Town. I want to
You
see him
know
down
it.
here in the bottom, down in the dirty South, and he can come or he can come as his band. I just want him down here, but we want to promote everything.
That's
When you
me.
see it, talk about it, brother. There you go. You know it.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes. So, yes, I am Leo Carmichael, Leo Carmichael, Leo Carmichael, Leo Carmichael. Never ever forget that name. I have an album out. You can stream or download it on all platforms, all major platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, the list, any Deezer, YouTube Music, YouTube. I have another album coming out soon. Just support me, man. Show me all the love you can and spread the word.
We got to do
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
We got to do that because you too good of an artist to be hidden. If you were on a cruise ship,
And
Leo.
my genre is reggae music. My main genre is reggae and dancehall music. And what I do is that I mix it, I fuse it with other genres. So
Mm.
I'll fuse my reggae with some soul. I'll fuse it with some pop. I'll fuse my reggae with some 80s feel, some 70s feel. In fact, I'm working on a promotional EP right now, apart from my album, where I do a few covers. I'm working on a cover of "I Just Want to Be Your Everything" from Andy Gibbs,
Oh wow,
brother of the
wow,
Bee
I love
Gees.
that. I
Yeah,
know
Yeah.
you can do that.
you know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've worked with a French producer, G, Soul Sugar. I have a cover of Marvin Gaye's "I Want You" in reggae. I have a cover of Luther Vandross says "Never Too Much." So I do, you do stuff like that because you've got to
Yeah.
stay. You've got to always revisit the roots, no matter how much you reinvent and innovate. Mhm.
Leo, I
That's
don't know. I don't know if how much you study artists who have really made it big. I think one of the biggest we talked about Journey. Linda and I are children of the 60s, 70s, and 80s rock wise,
right.
and I'm just an unabashed Journey fan. But Steve Perry is like one of the most complex personalities. He walked away from the band, anything I can get on him because he's such a phenomenal talent. I read it, I listen to it, and I just saw
Oh
an
yes.
interview where he admitted that it just he had to step away. How do you see your future? Do you have enough balance to be able to stay to keep from being burned out by the whole industry or the music?
Right.
And music is in you, I know, but how you prepare yourself for the future, when you see those kinds of things. And Luther had stepped away for a while and he had just come back before he got sick. It just made it big with Dancing My Father again and that album. So
Okay.
how do you manage to keep from just being totally burnt out by what you do?
no matter what answer I give you out right now, I'm gonna say this: there's no perfect answer. It's all a learning process.
Yeah.
And I say that because I know other musicians might watch, and I don't want them to feel like this is a ABCD one two
Right.
three fix kind of thing.
Right. Right. Right.
Where I am and how I am today came from ups and downs and
Right.
mistakes.
Right.
But I think the difference between anybody, whether they are a musician, an artist, or a professional in any sphere of life, is their willingness to keep learning and growing from wherever
Correct.
they're coming
Correct.
from.
Correct.
Um, um, God blessed me in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I came from very humble beginnings, God blessed me in certain ways. Growing up in music, and the reason why I said that I'm blessed in certain ways is because I got to be around a lot of important
Important
people,
people.
and and
Mm-hmm.
and, and not to be the guy that's noticed.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So like I grew up in the first 6 years of my life. I grew up in the ghetto.
Hmm.
Right? And I moved, and I moved to a community. I know what it is to be like that, and because my mom saw gifting in me from I was a child, I started around, playing playing for my church around much older folks,
Right.
from age 13 professionally as a drummer. And so that put me in a position where I was around apologists. I was around a TD Jakes. I was around people from his praise and worship team. I was around a Richard Smallwood. I was around a Donnie McClurkin. I was
wow.
around what's his name, Miles Monroe. I was around a Creflo Dollar. I was around a lot of the people from your culture and from our culture and from
Right.
African nations, and from because I've been so in. I was always put around leaders, and that is how I and that was a big teaching factor for me because it was me and my mom, and even though I love my father loves me. I never had him as much, so that was my learning ground. So I saw my escape was to try and learn whatever I could from that. And when I became a songwriter, I started being around a lot of famous persons, filthy rich persons, very poor persons. I saw secular music behind the scenes, gospel music behind the scenes
Yeah.
from different countries, and it taught me a lot. It taught me that it is not as glorious as it seems.
Mm.
Right.
So just chill.
Right.
Mm.
So I don't know if another person will see it the way I see it, but it
Yeah.
is not as glorious to me. God has given me a gift, and He has given you a gift, and He has given others a gift. I am not going to glorify myself because I can sing, or I'm a drummer, or because people rave when I'm on tour, or because I've been on festivals in front of thousands of people. No, 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 no.
Wow.
I've learned over the years to just chill. And in that space, in that space with that focus, you get to learn a lot. And when you make your mistakes, because I've made a lot of mistakes,
We
I
all
get
do.
the
Hold on one
yeah,
second.
I get the opportunity to learn. I've gotten the opportunity to learn, and so from others. So I would say, so this is my answer to the question. Balance. Balance. When I finished music college, when I finished when I finished music college, I lost a tour to Nigeria.
Mm.
With Cheryl Franklin. She was supposed to go on tour with Donnie McClurkin, um, Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, and I think Smokey Norfolk, and a couple of very popular gospel artists, Yolanda Adams, and a couple of very popular gospel artists from the United States. And when I lost that tour to Nigeria, I lost a tour to Maxi Priest's drummer. He's a
Mm.
reggae artist, a popular reggae artist that has been on the Billboard in the 90s. He did "Oh Baby Baby It's a Wild World," the reggae version of that, and he did "I Just Wanna Be Close to You." That was a year in Billboard Hot 100 tune. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
he's very popular for that and
Yeah.
other songs. But when I
Hmm.
lost that tour, and when I also never raised enough money to go to Berkeley, because I got into Berkeley too after I finished music college, in Jamaica. I got into Berkeley, but I never raised enough money, and I lost that tour. It told me that, hey, I take my singing more seriously. So there I learned a
Mm,
lesson. So when I
mm,
learned my lessons, I just practice and I put in my practice. When I started making money from music, I sent myself back to university and I studied business.
mm,
Ah,
mm.
So I have the equivalent of a general management and operations management degree.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Wow. Wow.
So by 2016, especially when I saw that I was going to get married, I know that I needed to have a backup plan because music is not as grateful in returns as it is. It's a
Right,
high risk business. You know,
right.
there are highs and there are lows. So yeah, I went and I got a degree. So if I needed to substitute doing a 9 to 5 job, but what I found is that because of my relationships, because of how I roll with people,
Uh-huh.
because I'm not really about papers or degrees or diplomas. I'm more about I love people. I'm about people.
Yeah, you are.
You know, yeah, I love people. I'm a people person. So whenever I go to work with someone, I always try and take a vested interest with them and connect with them. And for some reason over the years, as a result of that, I've never ever had to do a 9 to 5. In
Wow,
Wow.
fact,
What a
in
blessing.
wow.
fact, in fact,
What a
when I
blessing.
tried to do a 9 to 5, I remember one time I said, okay, I'm gonna stay in Jamaica and I'm gonna apply and do a 9 to 5. And the week after that, I got called for Oasis of the Seas to start working with Royal Caribbean. And before that, I got a tour. Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. So it's like from that to one thing I would say to somebody in music and in the arts, the gifted people, don't be caught up in your talents. Humble
Right,
yourself,
Yeah.
and no matter how talented you are, your diligence must go before you,
Mm,
right,
because
right,
diligence can outdo gifts. And if you're not
right.
diligent and you're indisciplined, you're going to be imbalanced in life. Because I know so many great musicians, but because they they had challenges, I should say, with balancing, they've they fall off in different ways or had losses or regrets. That's been a lot, and I have been one of those persons that have had losses and regrets. So I would say just strike a balance, know the market that you're in, have a plan B, and put in the work, and love people, and be a people person. Even if you don't feel like being a people person, be a people, just love people,
wow.
and go out and be your best.
Linda, while the clock's
Yeah.
slapping us upside the head, you got a final thought or question you want to ask, a very brief that we can, because I'm gonna have the last word on this. We gotta
Okay,
be
well,
quick.
I'll let you have the last word because
You
I
open
think
the
everything
show.
that he has provided was enough to direct anyone who's in the business interested in becoming a part of the business. And I don't want to confuse nobody, so you close it out.
Bless you, Linda. Thank you. Leo, you created a moment for us on that ship amongst many, um, where you and my dear daughter, she did the dialogue for us that Monday night. She and her friend Latoya, they did the takeover from Go Giga Creations, and they knew it was our anniversary, and we was just sitting on the balcony watching the show. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I just couldn't believe it." And then we went to your show, and you just tapped it off. My wife is going to look at the rebroadcast of this. Can you just do just a line or two from our song, which is,
Okay.
you know what it is?
Highway run into the midnight sun. The wheels go round and round. You're on my mind. Restless hearts sleep alone tonight. Sending all my love along the wire. They say that the road ain't no place to start a family. Right down the line, it's been you and me.
Yeah.
And loving a music man ain't always what it's supposed to be. Oh, girl, you stand by me.
All right.
I'm forever
Yes, sir.
yours.
Oh.
Faithfully.
All right.
But Leo, wow, I wish he was here. He sang that and he sang that on the ship for us on our anniversary night. Well, the night before the anniversary, and man, when it was starting, I said, "Don't start, girl. Don't start. Don't start. Don't start." Brother Leo, man, this is a long time coming. We're going to definitely ask you back. But better yet, you let us know, Linda and I know,
Yes.
your schedule as soon as possible. And maybe that's something we need to work. Maybe during the off
Absolutely.
season, we
Absolutely.
need to try to pull together a group and let's go and enjoy 7 nights of Leo, Carmichael, and the Temperature Band, and then catch the whole array of them and catch him in his atmosphere. Thank you for spitting this wisdom and this humility with us tonight, man. We tremendously appreciate it. Now, here's another talented artist, Bernard Mason, a friend of our show. Bless you, brother. Thank you. He says another good show. Bless me again. Thank you, sir. Leo, God bless you, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Love you all, man. Have an awesome night.
Bless you, bro. Enjoy your rest before you go back.
Oh, definitely.
Bless up, bro. Linda, every now and then you just run across just a blessed individual that he shared the roots of his spirituality. Just helped us tonight to know what makes him the quality individual. Just forget the singing and the gifts, and but he's in his role, and he's rested, and his voices. He's awesome.
He is. I can tell. I can tell. It was my pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to meet him and talk with him.
Good. Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. So, Linda, tell us more about your tea show, and we want to depict it with pictures as we go out of here tonight. Thank you for joining us. We love and appreciate
Tea Party. Thank you so much, sir. The Tea Party basically was to introduce people, as I stated to them earlier, about the collection of my jewelry, which I had no idea that I had the talent, the patience to sit and be still long enough to make anything. So a part of my proceeds that I am getting from the Tea Party is going to my 501, which is Continuous Love. And you remember that when I was in Florida, and it was to help kids who lost a parent prior to graduating from high school, and to assist them in any and every way that we possibly can. We anticipated on having 25, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 31, 32 young ladies that came in, and one of our guest speakers, Miss Dr. Rhonda Sneed, was talking about walking in your purpose. So it was amazing. It was amazing. I don't even know how to describe what it was, but it was all God, and I am so grateful to be a part or be able to do what he say do.
Bless you, Linda. You've been doing that, even with your plus size modeling, the lives that you uplifted and the esteem that you built. You just been about the service of the master, and that's why I gravitate to you. That's why we don't fuss and fight like we would normally. Love you and love the work that you and Sherilyn do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too, man.
And shout out your podcast. Who you got on this week?
I have they call her Lady Z, but Zarel, she has a lupus foundation. And we've been doing a lot of health and wealth segments these for the month of March. And we just need to know different signs about ourselves and what our body is telling us. So she's going to be there to help us diagnose lupus.
But that's this Thursday. That's 7 o'clock Central.
7 o'clock Central time.
And we want to ask you all to please join in. I'm just so glad that Linda stayed with us. I know she's been busy with not only her podcast, she got a lot of irons in the fire. Yeah. And we're just so grateful for it. And so thank you for joining us tonight, Linda. You know we triply love you here.
You're my brother, man. What are you talking about?
My sister, man.
That's it.
We stuck with each other, right?
Yeah.
That's a great state. God bless. Thank you. Listen, thank you all for joining us. and being with our dear brother Leo Carmichael tonight. God bless. This is a dialogue. We've been making a lot of issues and jumping on a lot of stuff tonight. It was great to just sit back and enjoy. And thank you, Bernard, for joining us tonight. God bless. We'll see you next Monday night, 8 o'clock, right here, Dialogue with Dozell, YouTube and Facebook Live. Love you, ladies.
Good night. Oh, what's up, man?